Hello, and welcome to this special episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your smothered, covered, splattered, and stuffed host, Davo. With us today, we have Kels. Kels, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Aren't all our episodes special, though?
Well, this one's extra special.
Oh, okay. You should say that in the beginning next time. I was a little confused.
Okay, well, why don't you say it then?
Well, this is a very extra special episode.
Neil, why is this a very extra special episode?
Because of all the gravy.
Extra gravy.
It's bad for your heart, man.
Take a shot of that and you're good to go.
Don't drink it straight out the boat. Don't be a savage about it.
Well, that came up quickly.
It did, and it was going to. You had to know it would.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Andy.
It's all right. Hey, everybody.
Today's episode is all about that wonderful American holiday of Thanksgiving. I am a very, very big fan of Thanksgiving, although my son today told me we are not having turkey. We are not having a traditional Thanksgiving feast. We are instead having enchiladas.
Oh.
Are they at least turkey enchiladas?
I'm going to try to do turkey enchiladas.
So I'm curious, is it official now that you no longer have control of the household, that he's just calling all the shots?
Well, he is 6'2", so...
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I kind of roll with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So enchiladas for Thanksgiving, everybody. But today is also a special day because we have the return of Andy, and these are Andy's Thanksgiving questions. Andy has prepared the Thanksgiving trivia feast.
I have been in the kitchen all day.
Oh, man, sweating. Sweating.
Yeah.
So before we get too far into the feast, we will have Neil say the grace of the Brain Ladle rules.
The rules are, each week we have a theme, and within that theme we've got 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points, and maybe a few bonus points thrown in from time to time. And then a final question where we can bet all or some of our points, and we'll figure out how that one works when we get to it.
Andy, let's carve it up.
Is that my cue? All right.
Yes.
So
That was just your name.
should we? I mean, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I've got a steaming mug of gravy here, ready to go. We want to go around and say what we're thankful for, because I personally am thankful that Neil has chosen to use his powers for good and not evil.
That's good. Yes.
That's a pretty solid one.
I am thankful for Mookie Betts.
Nice.
Kels, what are you thankful for?
Oh, man. For funk music in general.
Neil, what are you thankful for?
I could get behind the funk music thing, but I'm more thankful that I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Ooh.
Where are you going?
I'm going to to the Eastern Caribbean, 12-day cruise.
Man.
Awesome.
Man, oh man. The Brain Ladle Operations Center will be on the water in December.
I would say that I'll be thinking of you, but we all know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, don't lie to us, Neil.
I understand.
Don't jerk me around, Norm.
I do expect he'll play a lot of trivia on the ship, though.
Well, good.
Keeping it sharp.
I'll give you some stickers to take to the Eastern Caribbean. So, Andy, serve it up. Piping hot.
All right, let's get going here. I've got the questions ready to go. I found the questions in an old magazine in a Chinese restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So they should be fresh. We'll start off round 1 in the kitchen. Let's get cooking.
Yay.
Question number 1. In Tudor England, the job of turning meat on an open hearth was often the responsibility of turnspits. What is a turnspit?
I'm locked in with an answer.
I'm locked in.
Then Neil will go with you first.
I believe in this context, a turnspit is a dog.
Davo?
I wrote a member of the kitchen staff.
Kells.
I thought it was something that you put the meat on, and it was like rotisserie gold. Like, like I don't know what you call that device, but I guess it's a turn spit. Something you put the meat on and you turn it so all the sides are cooked evenly.
You're on the right track, Kells, but actually it's the device that turns it. Most often it was a short-legged dog, though sometimes it was kitchen help.
Oh.
So both Neil and Davo will get points.
Yay.
Question number 2. This item derives its name from the Latin word meaning large pearl.
Pearl onion, perhaps?
You understand this is the part where you lock in and not talk out loud.
Oh.
Locked in now.
Read that question one more time. I've got pearl onions in my brain.
This item derives its name from the Latin word meaning large pearl.
I'm locking in with an answer. And here's my answer.
Kells, are you locked in?
No, but I can if you'd like me to.
It's really your show. So,
I'm locked in.
Neil, you locked in first. What's your answer?
Well, I didn't have any idea until Davo said something about an onion, and I'm like, well, an onion is kind of like a pearl. So I said onion.
Davo?
I said ladle because ladles are cool.
And Kells?
I also followed the Neil train of thought and went with an onion.
The Latin word is spelled Unionem.
Wow.
And it is the onion.
Oh my God.
You did that. Thanks, man.
You're both so welcome, my bros.
It is so remarkable you did not get points for that.
I can't believe I didn't get that. I can't believe it.
I swear I almost threw that out because I thought it was too easy, but I love the connection to the pearl onion jokes you were making the other day on one of the broadcasts.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that was hilarious.
All right, let's mercifully move on for Davo. Question number 3. In 1840, this was first used for cooking.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Davo, you locked in first.
Yeah. Okay. I locked in with I don't gas heat, like instead of a wood burning stove, like gas used to get the flames going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Neil.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going for like a utensil or a pan or a method of cooking. I settled on a method of cooking because I think pans and things, those have been around for a long time. So the only innovation I could think of for cooking technology in the mid 1800s was gas. So that's my answer.
And Kells. You were all correct. Well done.
I'll take it.
Well done. A sweep of question 3.
I'm still
Could have been a sweep of question 2, of course. Very close to a sweep.
Yeah.
That's question 2 is really the equivalent of Davo running into his own end zone.
And spiking the ball.
Spiking the ball.
Attitude. Doing the throat slash and like the icky shuffle. Just like.
Let's go to question number 4, the last of the category. In 1955, Dorcas Riley directed a team at the Home Economic Department of Campbell Soup to invent this Thanksgiving staple.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, I'm locked in.
All right. Neil, you'd locked in first.
If it's who I think it is, I heard about her. I think she passed just recently, and she was the inventor of the green bean casserole.
Davo?
Green bean casserole.
Kells?
Clearly not a staple at my house. I put down giblet gravy.
It's green bean casserole. I was trying to come up with a joke for giblet gravy, and I just...
You know what it is, though, don't you?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say.
As you know, I'm a connoisseur of gravy. At the end of round 1, then, what are our scores?
We got Kells with 20, Davo with 30, and Neil with 40.
Nice. Close match.
Anybody's game.
All right. Well, anybody's game. Let's get out of the kitchen. For round 2, Thanksgiving is traditionally a time where Hollywood blockbusters are released. We're calling this category Movie Night. And the way it works is I'm going to give you a quote from a film. You have to tell me for 5 points the name of the film, and for the other 5 points, the character speaking the line. All these films are considered some of the better films ever released on the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Okay.
I like the sound of this one.
All right. Quote number 1. Quote, I ain't no bum, Mick. I ain't no bum. Give me the title of the film and the person speaking.
Character name or actor?
Character name.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I'm locked in too. They just were so fast.
Kel's locked in first. What's your answer, Kels?
I went with Rocky, and I believe Rocky said it.
Neil?
The movie is Rocky, and it was Rocky Balboa.
Davo?
Rocky Balboa.
That is correct. All of you got that one. Very good. All right. On to the second movie quote. Normally, my prospects of coming back alive from a meeting with Nikki were 99 out of 100. But this time, when I heard him say a couple 100 yards down the road, I gave myself 50-50.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
I hope this came out on Thanksgiving.
I'm locked in.
Okay. Kel's locked in first.
Okay. The only Nicky I can think of was played by Joe Pesci, and his name was Nicky in Casino, but I believe Ace Rothstein, played by Robert De Niro, said the line.
Neil, you locked in second.
I think it was, it's obviously kind of a gangstery sort of thing. I didn't think Casino. I went with Once Upon a Time in America, and I don't know any of the character names, so that's it.
Okay, and Davo.
I went with Goodfellas, and I thought it was the character played by Ray Liotta.
Oh, three-way split here. It is Kells that has the right answer. It is Ace Rothstein in Casino. Okay, number 3 in our movie night category. Here's the quote. In the past, all a king had to do was look respectable in uniform and not fall off his horse. Now we must invade people's homes and ingratiate ourselves with them. This family has been reduced to those lowest, basest of all creatures. We've become actors.
I've seen this movie. All right, I'm locked in.
We all locked in?
Yes.
I am.
I believe.
Okay, Neil, you go first.
I don't recall this movie very well, but it is about a king who has to do some stuff on TV, I think. And so I went with the King's Speech, and it sounded like something that the king would have said.
Sorry.
Kels?
I also went with the King's Speech, and I believe it was George VI.
And Davo?
The King's Speech, and I thought it was George V.
I will need the judge's ruling on this. It is the King's Speech, and the character is King George V. Technically, all three of you gave me a variation of that name.
Well, wasn't King George VI Colin Firth's character? His father said it. That wasn't him. It was his father.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played by Michael Gambon.
Well, I know the father's in it in the beginning, but
Yeah, he said it. Michael Gambon.
oh,
Well, I shouldn't get the points then.
Well, you get
No,
the
you
5
should.
points for knowing the movie.
Oh yeah, I meant like
Right.
the 5.
and Neil just said the king. Does he get points?
There's a bunch of kings in that movie.
Yeah, there
Oh,
is.
yeah.
There's like 3.
No, I'm not going to take full points for that one because that was kind of a joke answer.
Okay.
I had no idea what king it was.
Very good. Quote number 4.
Well, wait a minute.
All right.
We all got the movie right.
You got full points, Davo. You're the only one that got full points.
Yeah,
No need to worry.
I'm not worried. I'm merely
You just
bookkeeping.
wanted to rub
You
it
sound
in.
worried.
That's fine.
What? No, I don't want to rub in that I got it right at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
it puts the lotion on the skin.
Yeah.
All right. Quote number 4. Tuesday night's plastic corrosion awareness meeting was, I think, a big success. We'd like to thank Mr. Spell for putting that on for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell.
I'm locked in.
Can I get this quote one more time?
Quote, Tuesday night's plastic corrosion awareness meeting was, I think, a big success. We'd like to thank Mr. Spell for putting that on for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell.
You're welcome.
Don't.
I have no idea. I've never. I don't know what this is.
I'm locked in.
I'll write something down.
We all locked in?
Yep.
Sure.
Yes.
Neil?
Well, I was thinking Mr. Spell. I couldn't think of a character named Mr. Spell. But it did kind of pop into my mind, the old speak and spell. And then Davo said thank you in kind of a robotic voice. And that made me think that maybe I was on the right track. And the only thing I could think of that had a speak and spell sort of thing in it was Toy Story. And I don't know who would have said it. So I just guessed the main character, Woody.
Uh-huh. Davo?
Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Woody.
And Kels.
I totally whiffed on it. I got stuck on plastic for some reason. And the only famous movie quote I can remember with plastics was plastics from The Graduate. The only thing I could think of. I could not get out of my own way. So I went with The Graduate.
You're trying to get me to go to a plastic corrosion awareness meeting, aren't you, Mrs. Robinson? Well, Davo was right when he blurted out the answer there in the middle of the locking in. It is Woody from Toy Story.
So I think I may get one question per round from Davo this game.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, hey, I'm giving thanks to the podcast and all of us on it.
That's your second interception of the night, Davo.
I know. That's pretty.
Just
It's
want to
pretty
point that
good.
out.
Woody. You said Woody?
No, I said you're
You
welcome.
don't think-
Oh, okay. I got you.
Because that's what
I didn't.
that's what the
that's what
speak
Mr.
and spell says.
next. And
Oh,
it's next.
welcome.
No.
I got you.
All right, what are our points after round 2?
It's still a pretty close game. Kells with 45, Davo with 60, and Neil with 65.
Very good. Round 3, dinner music. In this category,
oh, sorry.
the girl from Ipanema, that's your standard.
I would eat
music?
dinner. I would eat dinner.
Okay.
Girl.
Girl from
Ipanema.
Okay.
Ipanema.
Ipanema.
There you go.
Respectable.
That's in Brazil.
Ipanema.
Respectable.
Oxanabayul.
It's been a while since I heard that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Round 3 is dinner music. The way I've done these questions is these are all Thanksgiving themed songs in a sense. And I'm giving you clues in the question and you should discover what the artist is. So for example, the first question, not an example, actually the first question. To be clear.
You giveth and you taketh away.
Okay.
Question number 1. The Stax Records house band that cooked up Memphis Soul also made us a dish called green onions and another called My Sweet Potato.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Neil locked in almost right away. What's your answer, Neil?
That would have to be Booker T and the MGs.
Kells?
Booker T and the MGs. Five times.
I put down the waffles because I had chicken and waffles for lunch.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was really good.
That sounds good. That sounds good. It's Booker T and the MGs.
I don't even know who that is.
They're saying
Wow.
green onions.
Yeah. Really?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
You'll know it if you heard it, I promise.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, it's an instrumental.
Yeah.
Is it like beans and cornbread? That song?
That
No.
works.
It's about a
That has
million
worked.
times better than that.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe you should stop talking.
I'm done.
Okay. Question number 2. While living in America, you're certainly going to find mashed potatoes on his Thanksgiving table, and he's probably going to ask you to pass the peas.
Locked in.
Wow. With authority. With authority.
I'm locked in.
So I know that I've heard this before. I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Kells decisively answered first. What's your answer?
Sababa dibba. Yes, God. People think I'm down at the mine. I want James Brown.
You did? Nice.
I did.
Davo?
I certainly couldn't tell by that answer that you had gone with James Brown. I also went with James Brown.
And Neil?
James Brown.
Mashed Potatoes and Pass the Peas are both songs by James Brown, as is While Living in America is,
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
which is really our second reference to Rocky in one podcast because we give thanks to Rocky.
That's a lot
Is that
of
Rocky?
Rocky.
Is that Rocky 2?
Three.
Rocky 3.
That's Rocky 4.
Oh, it is Rocky 4. I completely ignore Rocky 3.
Wow.
You shouldn't. Mr. T is the best villain they've ever had.
I knew.
Oh, Mr. T. I had those reversed in my head.
But did Mr. T single-handedly win the Cold War? No.
Yeah. They never brought that to Chicago now, did they?
Oh, that's
He was
right.
patrolling the streets.
He was. He
Got a
was.
point. Got a point. If you are a survivor of this Thanksgiving meal, for dessert, might I suggest some apple pie a la mode that this girl group has made in the kitchen?
Locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Locked in.
Okay, Kels, you locked in first again. Your answer?
Well, if my answer is correct, I'll be really surprised that you didn't use "Cater to You" for this question. But I went with Destiny's. I went with Destiny's.
Wow, I missed a reference there. Yeah. Davo.
Destiny's Child.
And Neil.
So I've heard of Destiny's Child, but I certainly couldn't name a single song. When you said Survivor, I was thinking, band Survivor at first, but that would have been too easy. So the only other Survivor-related song I could think of was by Gloria Gaynor. So that was my answer.
Wow, a deep cut from Gloria Gaynor. This is actually a deep cut off of the Survivor album by Destiny's Child. And a little known trivia fact. In the song, of course, they're singing about a guy that they're seeing at the club that they want to be with. Michelle Williams is actually singing this directly to me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I met her before.
I'm sorry?
I met her before.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously?
In Rockford, Illinois. She was a member of one of my cousin's church.
Really?
And she came by the Saturday dinner that we had and hung out for a while. Actually sang a little bit. So I have a picture with her somewhere.
Oh, dude, I got to see that picture.
She was mums about you, but I mean, it was a lot of people around. That's how room.
Okay.
So it's probably to protect you.
Yeah, I get that. She's cool that way.
Yeah, as she is. So.
Yeah. I am so jealous right now. All right.
Okay.
Question number 4 and last question in round 3 of Dinner Music. Cold turkey is what you're going to get for leftovers from this artist's second solo release, to which you might say, don't worry, Kayoko. Mummy's only looking for her hand in the snow.
Well, one might say that. But
Davo, do you know this one?
No clue.
Oh, man.
I have a guess, though.
I was going to give you if you would have told me.
Yeah, actually, Davo, it's your turn for round 3 to blurt out the answer. You've done it for the first 2 rounds.
Okay, it's the Eurythmics. I'm locked in. Yeah, I do too.
I really wish it was.
I'm locked in.
That would be hilarious.
So, Kels, we're waiting for you to lock in.
Okay, I have no idea. I'm locked in.
Davo.
Yes.
Your answer.
It's
your podcast. See, I ask questions.
Right. Interactive. Got it.
Right. Right.
I'm going with Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Sure.
Sweaty Teddy is your answer.
Yeah.
Neil.
I feel like this is kind of a long shot, but you mentioned the name Kayoko, which made me think of Yoko Ono.
And Kels.
I just said Meatloaf because it was dinner music.
Oh, nice.
Yum.
Neil, as always, is the playa. Cold Turkey is John Lennon's second solo song. The B-side is a song by Yoko Ono called Don't Worry, Kayoko. Mummy's only looking for a hand in the snow.
That's the full title of it?
The full title. I consider myself a very adventurous listener. I defy you to listen to that B-side song in its entirety.
Was the correct answer Yoko Ono or John Lennon?
A good question. It's technically John Lennon. They would it gets very confusing for audiophiles. Technically, if I remember this right, it's serial number 1001 on the Apple label, and it's the JB band or something weird like that. But almost immediately, obviously, Don't Worry, Kayoko never went anywhere. And Cold Turkey was called a John Lennon song.
Okay, so that didn't actually answer my question.
So the correct answer is John Lennon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nobody scored on that one.
All right. That's the end of round 3. What are the scores?
Well, it actually tightened up a little bit. We've got 75 for Kells, 80 for Davo, and 85 for Neil.
All right. Moving on to round 4. Other things besides Thanksgiving happen in November. Specifically, Thanksgiving this year falls on November 22nd. These questions are things that happened on November 22nd in history. So you're going to have to answer questions related to that. Question number 1. Being released on the same day as this event in American history has led many historians to speculate that it helped propel the album With the Beatles to its remarkable success in the United States. What was that event?
So 2 Beatles questions, Andy? Like back to back?
That was a John Lennon question, wasn't it?
What was he in? I forget. What band was he in?
The Plastic Ono Band. Oh, before that?
Yeah.
Beatles.
Oh, okay.
I'm locking in.
Yeah, I'm going to lock into.
Be nice if I knew the year. Okay, I'm locked in.
Neil?
Well, since you said it happened on November 22nd, I just guessed that it was the JFK assassination.
Davo?
That's a much better answer than mine. I said the Ed Sullivan Show performance.
And Kels?
I figured it had to be early 60s because With the Beatles, it's probably their first album, if I had to guess. So I went with the Kennedy assassination.
Kels and Neil are correct. It's the Kennedy assassination.
It's a very good answer.
Yeah, because it's the right one.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Good answer. Being a good player.
Question number 2. In 1987, 2 Chicago TV station broadcasts were briefly hijacked by a person making fun of WGN, Pepsi, while humming the theme to Clutch Cargo and ending with his bare butt being spanked with a fly swatter. What character was the pirate pretending to be for the 11 minutes he interrupted broadcasting? And for a bonus, what 2 programs were interrupted?
I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Neil. I'm locked in as well.
I'm so thrown by this whole question. This sounds insane. This really happened?
It's really happened. It's really insane. And you can go to YouTube and check it out after the show. I strongly urge you to do that, actually.
It's genuinely disturbing.
I'm locked in.
Okay. I think, did Davo lock in first?
Sure.
Sure. We're going with that. Davo?
It was Max Headroom.
And do you know the broadcasts?
I don't know the shows. I have no clue.
Neil?
I also said Max Headroom. I'm just going to throw a guess that it was the Macy's Day Parade.
Okay. And Kells?
Well, I don't know. Who did y'all go with?
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom.
Wow.
Sure. All right. I went with Bozo the Clown because it's Chicago related. It seems like with WGN, and that's about all I got with that one.
Bozo's not a bad guess. It is Max Headroom. And he interrupted. He was only able to interrupt WGN Channel 9 very briefly during the sportscast where they were talking about the Bears beating the Lions. But for the PBS station WTTW, he was able to interrupt it for 11 minutes. It was Doctor Who, Horror of Fang Rock.
It was Doctor Who.
In fact,
man.
Headroom, it starts the pirate saying he says, that effing nerd.
Yes.
Yeah.
So taken out of context, it is kind of scary. because it's very surreal and it feels like someone's trying to get in your head. Kind of. It's creepy.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I mean, Max Headroom was kind of creepy to begin with.
Yes.
And then the pirate Max Headroom is a little freaky. Okay, continuing round 4, question number 3. In 2013, Thanksgiving shared its day with another major holiday. What holiday was it?
I'm going to lock in.
I'm locked in.
I have no idea.
I've never been able to figure out our Twitter handle, so I haven't been able to tweet anything. But anyway, in 2013, Thanksgiving shared its day with another major holiday. Neil, your answer is?
I couldn't think of another holiday that was near then, especially not one that I celebrate. So I decided to pick one that I don't celebrate that is sort of in that time frame and went with Hanukkah.
Davo?
I wasn't sure, so I went with what?
You can't read his own writing.
What the heck did I write down here? Oh my god. I went with Columbus Day for some reason.
I'm sorry, Kells?
I just went with the wrong answer. I just said Veterans Day. I couldn't think of anything.
Neil figured it out. Both Thanksgiving Day and Hanukkah move around, and only once in recorded history have the days shared a day, and that was in 2013. Our last question for round 4. On this day in 1718, Edward Teach was shot 5 times, cut 20 times, and his severed head was suspended from the bowsprit of the sloop Jane. What name was he more commonly known by?
Okay.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Wow. All right. Neil, you got in there first.
I believe Mr. Teach was also known as Blackbeard.
Kells?
The thing that I'm trying to grow, black beard.
That's the answer I would have suspected from Davo. Davo.
Well, I get to grow a gray beard. But the answer is Blackbeard.
I want to be clear in your answer. It's not get to grow a gray beard, but rather try to grow. That was the key element of that. It is Blackbeard for all of you. Well done.
Man.
What was the name of his ship? It's the coolest name to me.
One of the sloops that was after Blackbeard was the Pearl. And of course, the Black Pearl is a key ship in those movies. I was curious if that's where that got its name, but I don't think that's the ship you're talking about. So what is it, Kels?
Queen Anne's Revenge.
Oh, that's right. All right, so that's the end of round 4. What's the scores?
The scores are 95 for Kells, 100 for Davo, and 125 for Neil.
All right, completely out of left field. Neil's winning.
That's a shocker.
Which
Cinderella
means
story.
Neil's winning. Are you ready for some football?
Yes. Yes.
Round 5.
Davo, I bet he gets them all right.
He's probably gonna. It's ridiculous.
I'm just going to take time off here and let you guys finish up this round.
Question number 1. The Chicago Tigers and the Decatur Stanleys met for the first NFL Thanksgiving football game in what year?
I thought you were having a stroke for a second. I was like, these aren't teams.
Can you give us a range?
No.
Please.
No. All right, fine.
Locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
Neil?
I have no idea. I guess 1940.
Kells?
1922.
Davo?
1932.
Kells was the closest. It's 1920. Question number 2. Even though he set the NFL record for rushing yards in a single game, the Bills still lost to the Lions 27-14, in part because backup quarterback Gary Marenghi completed only 4 of 21 pass attempts for 200 or for 29 total yards.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Even though he set the
Who was it?
yeah, let me say that again for you.
Was it just who was the running back?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna guess. I just wanted to know what position I was trying to.
When I'm grabbing the name out of the hat.
He has to know which hat to grab out of.
So let's start with Kells.
I went with Orenthal James Simpson.
Davo.
O.J. Simpson.
Neil.
Actually, I answered O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
Dirty dog.
Come on, man.
Dirty
That's what I
dog.
thought. Everybody gets points. Question 3 will have a bonus.
Yay. Another chance for Neil to embarrass us.
In 1998, how did Jerome Bettis screw up the coin toss that resulted in the Steelers' loss in overtime to the Lions and a rule change? And for a bonus, what was the rule change?
I'm locked in. I don't feel good about it, but I'm locked in. I kind of remember this, but I remember it incorrectly.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
Okay, Kel's locked in first. Your answer?
Okay, so originally I thought that the refs misheard him, and that was the problem. But given the way that you asked the question, I'm thinking maybe he deferred and let the Lions get the ball, and that was his gaffe. And I think this might have led to the rule change of both offenses getting a chance to score. So maybe the end of sudden death in that respect.
Okay, Davo?
I was thinking along the same lines as you, Kels. I seem to remember a referee screwing up a flip or a call, like getting the team's call wrong. But I think what Jerome Bettis did was he double called it. Like, the coin, head, tails, something like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I was. Okay.
So now
Maybe.
you make your call before the flip. Is where I went.
Interesting. And Neil.
It's nice life.
The only way I could think of for messing up a coin toss would be changing your mind while the coin was in the air. So that was my guess, and I have no idea what. I'll just guess that they did away with the coin flip altogether for overtime.
Okay. The answer is yes. He called both heads and tails while the coin was in the air. Which my brother's a Steelers fan, and I enjoyed reminding him of that often. The rule change was captains now had to call it before the coin is tossed in the air.
Hey.
So Davo's the only one that got both points. And as Kel's, the logic that you were taking, that rule change also happened in 1998. And indeed, the Lions scored on their first possession with a field goal. But I couldn't find a direct correlation between that specific game and that rule change. But that rule change also happened.
It was
after
that year,
that
though?
game. That was
I was
after
worried
that
it might
year.
have been a little later. Okay.
No, it happened in 99. They changed that to both teams get a possession.
So Kel's got none. Did I get points for changing his mind in the middle of the toss?
Yeah, I think because I think that's what he did.
I think that worked. Yeah,
that's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, I think, and then Davo did a pretty good description. He probably go head and the tails, kind of thing. And they're like, wait a minute, dude, which one was it? All right, question number 4, the final question in football. What active NFL franchise is the only one to have not yet played a Thanksgiving game? There's only one active NFL franchise that has not played Thanksgiving yet.
Holy moly.
One.
I'm going to lock in.
I'll lock in.
I'll lock in.
Okay. I'm going with Davo first.
I went with Jacksonville.
Kells?
I also went with Jacksonville, the Jaguars.
Wow.
Neil?
I assumed it was one of the newer teams, and I ended up going with the Houston Texans.
It's probably a better answer, and you got it right.
No, it's Jacksonville.
Oh, I was about to say, I was about to walk off.
Flip the table. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm just gone. I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a long day, so
I have a nugget as well. I was going to have it as a bonus question, but that'd be unfair to have two sports bonus questions. The Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Cincinnati Bengals are the only NFL teams not to have won yet on Thanksgiving. The Browns are 0-3, and the Bucs and the Bengals are 0-1. And for kind of the worst, longer record, the Steelers are 2-6.
Oh, wow.
I would go out on a limb and say that you could include the Jaguars in that list also.
Well,
as not having won on Thanksgiving.
They have, that's very true.
It's
They
true.
have not won.
technically,
nor have they lost.
which is why I added it as a nugget after that one. But yeah, yeah, they haven't lost either. Good point.
Undefeated.
Jags haven't lost. Right. They're undefeated.
A losing and winning streak.
All right. That's the end of round 5. What are the scores?
Got Kells with 115, David with 132, and Neil hanging on with 145.
All right. It's anybody's game. If that's a good saying, you guys should use that in your podcast. Yeah.
Can we borrow
thanks.
that?
Round 6. That's a freebie. You can have that one. Round 6, Thanksgiving History Buffet. Random history facts about Thanksgiving. Question number 1 is a two-parter. George Washington proclaimed in 1786 that November 26th should be a national holiday of Thanksgiving to the Lord, but it was stopped by this president and brought back by this president. Name the two presidents, the one that stopped it and the one that brought it back.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I have no idea. That was intimidating. Sure, I know presidents. I'm locked in. All you need are 2, right? So yeah,
All you need is 2.
Let's roll the dice.
Let's go with the history major first. Davo?
I believe I went with Abe Lincoln, who brought it back, who resurrected or whatever. And as far as the one who stopped it, this felt like something an Adams would do. And
Okay. Which one?
I think it was John Quincy.
Okay.
Because he was not the most religious of fellas. He swore
No.
he took his oath of office on a law book. So the Adamses weren't the most religious of folks.
No. And not the most popular either. Dad was the first president not to be reelected. His son was the second president not to be reelected. So the nation twice in a row said no to twice in a row Adams.
So Pugsley didn't win re-election?
Nope. Neither one of them won reelection.
Okay.
They're the first and second president to not win reelection. Okay. That was an interesting sidetrack. Neil.
So I felt like the one least likely to want to do something like that would be one of the Jeffersons, and I was torn between Thomas and George and ended up going with Thomas. And I'm pretty sure that Thanksgiving was made.
I swear to God, my mind was racing like, Jefferson? Wait a minute.
I, on the other hand, knew who the other Jefferson was.
Why do you say Jefferson?
It seems like this is something that I've heard before. Just like I kind of seem to remember that Lincoln was the one that made it an actual federal holiday.
And Kells.
Well, I went with Jackson for getting rid of it and Lincoln for bringing it back.
And your Jackson is because he was the Trump of that century?
I despise Andrew Jackson, a man I've never met. but there's so many layers to why. Yeah, that's why I picked Jackson.
Very good choices, all. Neil's logic wins out. It was Thomas Jefferson.
Not George.
And I want to make this. I'll make a minor little historical clarity point. People often point to Jefferson being not religious. Jefferson was a deist. He had strong religious leanings, but he did not believe that in necessarily the Christian religion. He thought the Bible was inaccurate, but he definitely believed in God. But more than that, he believed in church and state. And that's why he stopped Thanksgiving, as he saw that as a religious holiday. And he felt the state should not acknowledge any religious holiday and refused to bring it up. Abraham Lincoln, of course, is the one that brought it back. You all had that. Question 2. Thanksgiving is routinely the start of the holiday shopping season, though people complain that the season starts earlier each year. What president actually moved it up a week to start the holiday season off earlier?
I know presidents.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Neil?
That sounds to me like an FDR-y kind of thing to do during the Great Depression.
Davo?
I think that sounds like a Truman-y kind of thing to celebrate the victory in World War II. I don't know.
I'm just loving the fact we're going into FDR-y and Truman-y. All right. Kells?
Yeah. I also went with Franklin Delano.
The non-history majors have it. It's FDR in 1939.
Dang it.
It got moved back in 42. And of course, it was to try to help lift the nation out of the Depression. Question number 3, a two-parter again, 5 and 5. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a staple today. When and who started it?
This is either a trick question or an obscure question.
I'm locked in.
Neither.
And I'm voting on trick.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Davo?
I said 1931 and Mr. Macy.
Kells?
I went with Old Man Macy in 1924.
Neil?
I went with 1920, and I was a little bit more specific. I think his first name was William H. Macy.
Academy Award nominee.
A handsome young man indeed in 1920. Neil has got the year correct, 1920. But in 1920, Macy's wasn't the big department store, as you can see, and even watching a miracle on, was it 52nd, 7th Street? It's Gimbel's department store that actually started the parade to launch the Christmas season.
Hello from the Brain Ladle Operations Center. Here in post-production, we have discovered an error. The Gimbel's Parade was founded in Philadelphia and started in 1920 and is still running as the Dunkin' Donuts Parade. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade started 4 years later in 1924.
All right, our final question. Question number 4. In 1620, the Pilgrim's voyage to Virginia, actually, not to Cape Cod, as where they ended up at, was supposed to be completed by 2 ships, the Mayflower and another ship. The other ship sprung a leak just as they were leaving and had to turn around, and after attempting to fix it, were forced to try to fit everything on the Mayflower. What was the other ship's name?
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
What was the ship from Gilligan's Island again?
Minnow.
The SS Minnow.
The SS Minnow, yeah. All right, I'm locked in.
Neil, did you lock in?
I did lock in.
Yeah, he's first.
Okay. All right. Neil, go ahead. What is your answer?
Well, if it's the Mayflower, then I'm guessing the other one was April Shower.
I like the logic.
If you got that right, man, I'm gonna be so mad.
I'm pretty sure that's not right, Kels.
Man, you say that, man. It was like Neil is right. I've been hearing that feels like my whole life at this point. But
Davo, your answer?
I also said the April shower.
wow.
And Kels.
I went with the HMS Stankonia.
The what?
Get that stank off of you.
The HMS Stankonia.
I added this question because actually I find the name funny as well because of the irony. It was the Mayflower and the Speedwell, which it did neither speed nor well.
It did. Not
Apparently,
do
it was very poorly designed. Apparently, the mast was way too big, and the ship was just ungainly. And they realized after a short time in port, like there was nothing that was going to make it seaworthy, and left it behind. So that is the end of regular play. As we go into our final question, what is the score?
By my count, it is 130 for Kells, 137 for Davo, and 170 for Neil.
Very good. Category is Thanksgiving around the world.
I am locked in.
As am I.
As am I.
All right. So we're locked in with the wagers. The question is, what other countries celebrate Thanksgiving? And I want to be clear on this because there are a lot of fall festivals and there are a lot of festivals regarding the harvest. And I actually used a number of resources for this and combined different resources because I disagreed in some cases what people had in their list. To make this list, it had to be a major holiday that is similar to the American version, or it's a major holiday that's actually copied from the American version. And there are 14 countries. You have to name 8.
Okay, I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Okay, we're all locked in. I'm going to go through these alphabetically, and I'll give you just like half a sentence explanation of what the holiday is. First is Australia, specifically the Norfolk Island off the eastern coast of Australia, where in the late 1800s, an American whaler named Isaac Robinson visited the island and held a traditional Thanksgiving at a local church, and they've done that ever since in that area.
Got it.
So Australia.
Got it.
Yep.
Yes. Got it.
Got it.
Canada, which is very similar to the American one, but it's older, starting in 1574.
Got it.
Got it.
Wow. Got it.
China has a mid-autumn festival, typically falls in late September or early October.
Nope.
Got it.
Got it.
Germany, known as Erntedankfest. Erntedankfest is typically held on the first Sunday in October.
Got it.
Got it.
Got it.
This is my favorite one. Grenada celebrates American Thanksgiving on October 25th to give Thanksgiving for the U.S. invasion. I kid you not.
I missed that one.
I never would have thought of that. That's cool.
That was the one I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
You're welcome, Grenada.
Did anybody get Grenada?
No.
Yeah, you're welcome,
No.
Grenada.
I didn't.
Okay, number 6. India, Thai Pongal is the harvest Thanksgiving festival celebrated primarily in Sri Lanka and Malaysia.
Nope.
No.
Nah.
Okay. Number 7, Japan, known as Kinro Kansha no Hai. Technically, it's spelled, it comes out to Labor Thanksgiving. It traces its origins back more than 2,000 years to the ritual offering thanks to the first rice harvest. I love this bit. Children traditionally draw pictures to give out at police stations on Labor Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
I got it.
I got that.
That's sweet.
I got it.
Okay. The Netherlands, not a public holiday, but special church services are held most specifically at Leiden, where the Pilgrims originated, and all Orthodox Protestant churches. So it relates specifically to the Pilgrims. Number 9, the Philippines. Off and on, it originally was an American Thanksgiving held in secret during the Japanese occupation, and many still participate in the holiday today.
Got it.
Nah.
Number 10, South Korea, known as Chuseok Day, is held in mid to late September.
Nope.
Got it.
Nope.
Number 11, St. Lucia on the first Monday in October.
When I was trying to think of countries that I was just guessing at, I was going through the list of countries that I've been to on my last couple of cruises, and one of those was St. Lucia.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping St. Kitts is next.
I just realized I have one out of order here. Or a couple out of order. All right, number 12, the United Kingdom.
Got it.
A harvest festival held on the Sunday of the first harvest moon.
Davo, you hit 5. You hit 8 already, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I can tell. I apologize, Andy. Continue on.
So we have 2 more. This is the one where I read it like, duh, I would have never thought about it, but as soon as I read it, like, of course. Liberia.
Got it.
Oh, man.
I got Liberia.
And the last one, Vietnam, known as Tet Trung Thu, Festival, or the Children's Festival, is held as a way of parents, once busy with the harvest, to make amends with their children who may have felt neglected.
Aww.
Oh.
Those are all 14. Who got 8?
I got 8.
I got 9.
I got 7.
Very close. 8 was the perfect number to pick for the bar.
I'm sure Kel agrees with.
Sorry, Kels.
It is what it is.
And so let's start with Kels. What was your wager?
Andy, I wagered nothing.
Interesting strategy.
That leaves Kel's with 130.
Davo?
Neil had 170, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
Well, I bet 34.
So that gives you 171?
Yes.
Well, I thought you might be betting to beat me if I bet nothing.
You bet 1. You bet 2.
No, I actually bet 35.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I don't know what my logic was now that I think about it, but it made sense at the time. It be the 205.
Well, this is exciting. Neil won.
Yay! Oh, wow.
Huh.
You remember how you didn't win at one point in time, Neil? And now you win like every time?
No.
You remember that?
No,
I do.
That's not true. And then there's one that's going to be coming out the week after this one that, well, I guess I shouldn't spoil the ending, although it's not really that big of a surprise when you find out what the topic is. Well, that just shows, I think the only problem on this one, Davo, was your poor betting skills.
You know, I never know what to go with because I was trying to anticipate your bet, and then I thought, well, what if he bets 2? You know, what if he? So the most I was going to go was 35. So I didn't think to blow it out because I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure I would get this, so I wanted to play it safe for once. I usually bet the house and lose it all. Well, I think it was a wonderful game.
It was.
I
do too.
I had a lot of fun.
And the questions were excellent. I think they were very fun for this upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. We want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners, all of our friends, all of our family, all of our loved ones, especially our patrons, Susan L., our fans. We want to say happy Thanksgiving to Lexi and Liz and all of those loyal listeners and wonderful people who support us. We are on the Twitter at Ladlebrain. You can use that ladle to scoop up the gravy at Ladlebrain.
Ladlebrain.
Yeah. at Ladle Brain.
That's weird.
Yeah. You may have been looking for Brain Ladle, but
I was.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the show.
no, it's at Ladle Brain because I'm a doof and put it in backwards. So let's move on.
Oh, right.
It's like
Positivity.
It's like if Alf had a Twitter, it'd be Fly. It's just like that.
I want my Twitter handle to now be Fla. That's great. We have a Facebook page. Check us out on the Facebook page. Email us with any questions you might have, any topics you want us to go over. We do have a Patreon page. If you feel you want to throw a few ducats our way, we would surely appreciate it. It all goes to the show, and it all helps make this program even better. So from all of us here, I want to say thank you very much, Andy, for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having me. And if I can do a shout out real quick,
Yes.
Allison, famous answer or questioner Allison, has had her baby, Jack, and are doing very well. And she hopes to be back on the show soon.
Yay. She's no longer ultra mega pregnant.
She's no longer ultra mega pregnant. She is now currently ultra awesome mom.
That's fantastic.
Loving it.
Congrats to Allison out there. So from all of us here, I'm Davo with Kells.
Twinkle, twinkle, Baba.
And Neil
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
signing off.
The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.
You don't hear a lot of love songs about Dorcas. I have been hitting the gravy a little too hard tonight. Was that a body?
What was that?
I hit my knee on the desk, okay?